Okay, we're here with Jim Anthony and getting to know him a little bit better and what he does here at A&B Insurance, Florida Blue. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
And let's just jump right in and talk to me about a little bit first how you came to A&B Florida Blue. Where'd you come from? How'd you get here?
Well, originally from Texas. Doesn't sound like it, but I am from Texas. I lost my my accent while I was in the Air Force.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was in the Air Force and went everywhere from Mississippi, South Carolina, to spending 2 years in Europe, and then got out of the Air Force. Went back to my hometown. Essentially, was right outside of Dallas, and worked for a defense contractor there. Actually, it was. Couldn't really tell anybody what the name of the project was. It was just Behind the Green Door,
Top secret.
Yeah. So, that had finished, and so Boeing had bought us, and they were moving the plant. And my wife had told me that she would marry me as long as I moved her to Florida within 5 years. So
An ultimatum.
that was our 5th year, and had our first son, and so.
So quite different than insurance, your background.
Yeah. But I'd always loved finance and investments and that type of reading and researching and stuff. And so when I came out here, I decided to make a career change.
Okay.
And got licensed, and wasn't very shortly after that I got hooked up with Blue Cross Blue Shield, and so I've been.
When was that? What year?
Like 1995.
Okay.
That's when I got licensed with Blue Cross Blue
20
Shield.
years ago almost.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And have spent those years basically working with small businesses and individuals. Granted, it is quite a trying environment right now for people as far as individuals looking at dealing with the Affordable Care Act
Right.
and with businesses as to what they're supposed to be doing.
How has it
Yeah.
affected businesses? Because I don't get to talk a lot about that. Because I talk to a lot of agents that are really focused on individual policies.
Well-
What do you find in the small business arena, the group policies?
When you look at small businesses, in other words, under 50 employees, there's not a lot of impact other than the benefits of the policies had to be changed,
Okay.
which created new plans that had to be issued, which also, most companies are, it could be anywhere from 15 to 30% increase.
Wow.
So, a
a
lot
big
of
impact, right?
it is. It really is. It's been delayed a little bit, as
Yeah.
been several of the provisions and stuff like that. So it's almost like a month-to-month type basis of trying to keep clients informed as to what kind of decisions are being pressed upon them now.
What's important,
Yep.
priority-wise?
Yep. And so I try to take an approach of not only looking at it from the employee's standpoint,
Right.
but from the employer standpoint.
Okay.
And that way, hopefully, come up with a win-win solution for both people involved there.
Okay.
And but I do like working with small companies, employees, employers, and just individuals, self-employed individuals. I mean, my clients in the past have gone everywhere from restaurants to law firms to construction companies. So
Do you find a lot of differences between businesses, or are there more similarities than there are differences in terms of industries?
when you look at restaurants is an animal to itself.
Is that right?
And because their whole payment structure, and they have a lot of part-time employees,
Okay.
and so a lot of those type of companies need individual policies written for their part-time employees, while at the same time putting together an affordable plan that's available for people that make what I call foot soldier type of income,
Right.
And
Different than an accounting firm or something like that
yes,
you deal with.
yep, or a law firm where you have a lot higher wage earners and stuff like that, and so they look for different benefits.
Right. Okay. Okay. And what kind of look out of the future a little bit? What do you see in the next 2 to 3 years for small businesses and even for individuals? If you can weigh in on that a little bit.
Well, when you look at how the Affordable Care Act will impact businesses, right now the big impact is on companies over 50.
Right.
But from everything we hear and see coming down the pike, I mean, it's just 2018, 2019, where those same type of
Are going to be.
requirements are probably going to be pushed onto the smaller employers.
And what will that do to somebody that's a huge impact on a business of less than, say, 20, 25 employees, right?
There's a lot of companies that can't afford health insurance.
They just can't.
They've got
can't.
tight margins as
Yeah.
it is, and to take on that big of an expense will cause them to have to change their model, their business model.
What can you do to help in situations for the smaller businessman?
I think really the biggest thing that I do is educate and keep the employers up to date on the changes and how they're affecting their business. And as long as I can keep them educated, then they can make decisions that they feel comfortable doing.
Right. Right.
And hopefully it be some good news sometimes, but a lot of times with the impacts that are hitting them, it's.
And how do you do that in this environment when there's so much misinformation? There's so much out there. People think they know. They think they're listening to the right person. They think they're watching the right television program, reading the right articles, but they really are so far off base.
Well, I kind of start from the very beginning. You
Yeah.
know, and you have to
The
do
facts.
that. Yeah, you have to start developing that from the very beginning as if they know nothing.
Right.
And then as long as you support everything with documentation, with evidence of what you're saying, and you build that credibility with them.
Sure.
And then a lot of times they can overlook some of the hype that's thrown at them from all different areas.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's more of an educational process.
Yeah. Okay. Shifting gears a little bit. So, talk to me a little bit about your involvement in the community. What you do to sort of get out there and network, for lack of a better word, or.
Well, I have had a desire always to be in service,
Yeah.
whether it was in the Air Force, even volunteering while I was in the Air Force. But when I came out of the Air Force, and especially when I got to Florida here, then hooked up with some volunteer organizations, and I'm involved with Rotary.
Okay.
To me, that is just an incredible organization, and we have put together some projects that actually it's called Hugs for Kids. It's a camp that I co-direct. This was our 12th year. It's the first week in December that we have that camp, and it's just a great feeling to give back to the community,
Especially the youth, right?
Yep. So, and then I work with another organization called Faces of Courage.
Really?
That is
Okay.
it's more of a breast cancer survivor type of organization that deals with education and helping out individuals that have been basically, as they say, join the club. Join that special club, which no one likes to be in that club.
No,
But,
of course not. But
yeah.
you try to make it sort of the best it can be for in a rough spot, right?
Yep.
So you're sort of overall, you really enjoy service, and you enjoy. I'm sure that carries through to your clients and that personal type of attention, right?
It really does, and I've been at different networking events, and I've told people, I said, there's 20 people in this room, and I could go and talk with each one of them, and every one of them will have just a little bit different situation.
It's amazing, right?
And so being able to sit down, communicate with my clients, and make them feel comfortable about talking about what their situation is, and then bringing to them the knowledge of what options are available,
Right.
and educating them, and then the decision almost comes clear for them.
Do you get a lot of clients? I always ask this question. Do they just say, I hate buying insurance. I don't want to answer a million questions. Just sell me the policy that's right for me. I don't even want to talk about it. What do you do? Because you really have to get them to open up.
Well, when you do that, then it's more of a process.
You've got to convey that.
You simply start talking about doctors. Do you have a favorite doctor? Who do you like? And all of a sudden they tell you who their doctor is.
They start to talk about why and
why they like them and stuff. And all of a sudden that points to the network,
right, hospitals and
which network they would be, and then where they live and what type of hospitals, and then hopefully they'll share maybe specific concerns they may have, about something that happened to their family.
Yeah.
Which may in turn look at the type of coverages that we look at.
Okay.
So But it's really just developing a relationship with them so that they feel comfortable. And I've had the people that are like, "Rrr, rrr, rrr," you know.
I hear them all the time.
Yes, you know.
Yeah, I don't even want to just figure out what's right for me. Right?
Yep.
And it's got to be a dialogue.
It is, you know, and once you establish the rapport, then because all my clients know that, you know, if they had an issue, they could call me just about any time.
Right.
You know,
That's important.
I always tell them, I say, if they're up at 2:00 in the morning, they've got a problem, send me an email.
Yeah, I'll somehow know that it's out there.
Call them at 8.
Get back in touch with it. Yeah, exactly.
but I believe you have to be a certain type of person to do this type of work.
Yeah.
And I enjoy doing it. So
Great. Well, what's the best? Do you like to work through email? You have a telephone, cell phone?
Actually, my cell phone usually is the best way to get a hold of me.
Okay.
I do work with the emails. I look at my emails into the evening and get those done.
Okay.
Most of my clients know that I'm available up till 9 p.m. most evenings.
Good.
If they had a question. You
Okay.
know? And a lot of people say, you know, that's kind of crazy, you know, but I get a call maybe once
Well, people
every...
work different hours now.
Well,
It's
you know,
it's not like it used to be.
And, you know, sometimes things just happen and you know, like I said, I get a call maybe once every 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And when they calling at 8:30 or 9 o'clock at night, then they really need someone to talk
It's necessary.
to. You know,
Right.
And I guess you could say that pays dividends. You know, when you take care of your
Oh, it
clients
does.
like that.
Invariably, it does.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, the rest of Jim's information for his contact information and his bio will be up on the digital profile on the amb-financialgroup.com website. Thanks for being with us today. Enjoyed it, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Awesome.
Catch us on the next one.